G'day, ZiggyD here, and today I want to show you guys an awesome tool I've been using to shop for new gear and analyze my current gear. The name of the tool is d3up.com. Well, that's the site it is featured on, and it's basically a very in-depth gear calculator and build importer and things like that. So you're able to look at your build and your gear and how they all interact with each other, and it calculates your actual effective HP and effective DPS and a bunch of different other useful stats, which make it very handy for when you're trying to shop for gear. So the problem is, which is I'm sure a problem that many of you have come across before, is I'm trying to buy new boots. So I've got these pretty average rare boots, and I've got about 4.3 mil, and I've decided it's time for an upgrade. So I've been looking at ice climbers and trying to decide whether these are an actual upgrade for me. Now it gets difficult to decide this because I'm losing vitality if I buy these ice climbers, but I'm getting 10% extra life. Now straight away that raises the problem of me thinking, well, is this going to give me more or less HP in the end? I'm also getting fire resistance and intelligence, and these are forms of defense. So how does this affect my effective HP? In the end, is this going to be better defense and better like DPS and things like that if I actually buy this? And I have bought things before without using this tool and have them end up not being an upgrade because of the way the stats all work together. Sometimes it could be a little bit confusing. So let's go take a look at how you use D3up. So you simply just, on the front page here, you go to Getting Started and use this one here, and then you go to Create Import Your Character Build, which is the page we're on now. So from there you'll just type in your battle tag here, which you can find in your, well, okay, I screwed that up, there we go. You can find that in your friends list button over here. So once you do that, you click Find My Characters, and it'll come up with a list of your characters, and you just select the relevant one. It'll automatically put the information in over here, and you click Create Build. Now this is all temporary because I'm not logged in. I don't have an account on D3up at the moment, though I think I might make one, because if you register then you can save your character build and stuff like that and do changes and have it easily there ready for you, as well as get some other sort of advantages from doing that. So it might be worth making an account, but you can still use this tool without making an account, and I'll show you that now. So I'll just show you some of the interesting features of this before I go on to the shopping tool, as I like to call it. First you have all of your different stats here. You've got DPS gained by stat, so each of your stats are giving you how much DPS and things like that. You've got all of your damage statistics, your defensive statistics, other defensive effective hit points. I find EHP to be pretty interesting, and it shows the differences in your effective HP from other sources. So like my physical EHP is higher than my cold EHP, for example. And a bunch of other stats like that. And it's also got your gear here and how much it's contributing to each of those pieces. Like my Bow of Twilight's contributing 5.5% of my DPS and a massive 21% of my EHP. It's obviously a huge defensive piece of gear. There's this one here, Gear Stats Perfection, which is also pretty interesting. This gives you a pretty good visual representation of how good your actual gear has rolled. So let's go have a look at like my Denetta's Spite, for example, which I already know is quite well rolled, and you can see here by these being like 73%, 84%, 84%, 80%, they're all pretty high rolls on that. Same as this Denetta's Revenge here, both pretty high rolls, whereas like my Inner's Temperance, which I'm pretty aware of, is pretty low rolled in the actual stats it can get there. So that's a good way of just judging. If you could go through here and you see one that's a bunch of orange, like my gloves here, which are pretty terrible, then you can sort of think, maybe that's the next thing I should be upgrading. So let's move on to the actual shopping tool, because this is pretty awesome. So here we have a list of our gear again, and let's go to our boots, and we can actually simulate these boots here, which puts it into this calculator here. From there we can, the boots that I'm interested in are these ones here, so we'll just start typing in the stats from there. So 345 armor, we have 180 dex, and what else do we have? We don't have any vitality, so we can remove vitality from here. Our resist all is 71, and as I'm doing this you might notice these numbers up here start to change, because this is the calculations that it's doing in real time. It's all pretty amazing, really. So then we'll get rid of our magic find and increase pickup radius, which I'll be sad to see that go. And we can search for these other ones, so let's put in some fire resist. there, and there was 60 fire resist, I'm pretty sure. So let's put that in there. What else have we got? What other stats that are relevant on here? We've got 10% extra life, so we can go percent life right there. So we'll put that in there. And I think that's all the relevant ones. We can't really calculate the reduced damage from cold attacks, so we'll just have to keep that in mind. Oh no, there's still intelligence that actually has an impact. So let's go intelligence, and there was a nice around 92% intelligence there. So that will be adding to the all resist a bit. And the other thing we have is a socket. Now you can't actually, if you, on other pieces of gear that can normally roll sockets, you can select a socket and then select which type of gem you want in that socket. But since boots don't normally roll sockets, this tool isn't able to calculate that like that. However, we can just say, I'm going to put a 46 stat vital. Well, let's start off with dexterity and see how that works out first. So we'll just add 46 onto this dexterity here, which is the amount for the gem I'd be doing. So let's go 226. Hopefully my math isn't off. So now we've got the interesting stats here. All this is sort of just the less important ones, but from here we have DPS. We have a nice 3k DPS increase there. Our HP's dropped quite a bit, so that tells me that 10% life isn't worth as much as that vitality I currently have on my boots. But let's look at the other more important stat, which is effective HP. And we are taking an effective HP drop. So I'm pretty glad I looked at this, because these boots wouldn't be a very good defensive choice for me. My current boots are better. Just that vitality outweighs everything else. However, let's put this dexterity back to the base stat, and instead pretend we're putting a vitality gem in there and see if that makes a difference, because we should count the socket and the difference it makes. So now our effective HP is virtually the same. Our HP has taken a big hit, but our resistances and armor have gone up a good amount. So this makes it a little bit different, because since I use life on hit quite a bit, having a high effective HP while low vitality relative to each other means that my life on hit is more effective. So that's an interesting choice, but I don't think that's enough of an upgrade to warrant spending my money now. I think what this has told me is that if I save off a few more million, then maybe I can get a pair of Ice Climbers for closer to the 10 million mark, and I should be able to get something a bit better. Maybe something that's natively rolled vitality, and maybe I'll get something with pickup radius too, because I love my pickup radius. So as you can see, this is a pretty awesome tool. You can use that on any type of your gear. The only thing you can't use is your Hellfire rank. It doesn't simulate that properly, but that's okay. Yeah, so if you want to, like, say you want to upgrade your Vile Wards even, you can just type in the new stats for another Vile Ward, and it'll tell you exactly how much change it gives you and whether it's worth doing that. It's just a fantastic tool for finding upgrades like that, and actually knowing whether what you're buying is going to be an upgrade, instead of just sort of thinking, I think this is going to be an upgrade, and then spending all your money and finding out it's not an upgrade. As I said, I've done that plenty of times before. So hopefully you guys find this tool useful. That's it for today. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.